Your mission, Rocori, should you choose to accept it, is to get into the minds of children, gain access to their brains, and fill it with vast amounts of knowledge, including book smarts, life skills, respect, manners, social skills, emotional intelligence, and sometimes even the basics, like using the bathroom and loading the bus. You have exactly 173 days to complete this mission, at which point a new batch of recruits will arrive with the exact same directives. The race is on. The clock is ticking. It is our desire to be a leader in public education in central Minnesota. Use technology to help solve the corruption that sneaks into your realm. Be prepared. Have all the equipment ready to go, even masks if you need them. Stay focused. No matter how dangerous the mission, we're dealing with kids' futures here. Be committed and take risks to save the world, one Spartan at a time. We want the best. Friends, it's go time.
Rocori is celebrating 50 years from 1969 to 2019. As I page through these yearbooks, so many accomplishments, so many great successes, so many milestones here at Rocori. What a tradition we have. You know, as I look a little closer, some of these faces look awfully familiar. Like we might have some teaching staff that actually went to Rocori. Let's go visit some of them and find out about this rich tradition we have at Rocori. We're here at Rocori Middle School with Nate Klein. Nate Klein is a Rocori graduate. In 2005, he was voted Best Eyes, Most Unique Personality, and also the biggest kid at heart. Nate, you've come back and you've made your career here at Rocori. What were some of the things that Rocori set you up for success in your future career?
Well, I grew up here and I just really enjoyed all sports throughout. I did football, I did wrestling, I did golf. Just enjoyed being really involved in the community here, and I was very fortunate to have just a selection of unbelievable teachers that inspired me, and that's what I want to do when I teach. I want to inspire kids, so particularly if you guys have the chance, Mrs. Oman, before she's gone, make sure you get a class with her because she's one of my greatest inspirations in my life, just caring beyond anything I've ever seen in this world, so really amazing.
Thank you, Nate. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
All right. What has Rocori given me? Rocori, when I was a student, gave me lots of opportunities to be in clubs and sports, which gave me lots of good opportunities to work with amazing teachers and amazing coaches. The staff here is number one. They're super awesome, and I'll always be thankful of the opportunities they gave me. The teachers here at Rocori gave me a solid sense of community of the school, but it's the coaches that gave me a sense of family, and that's why I'm back here, hopefully providing the same opportunities for my students. And one of my favorites, Miss Lisa Swan Anderson.
Wow.
We're here with Brian Ottman. Brian Ottman is a 1982 Rocori grad. When he was here at Rocori, he played baseball, he played some football as well, some basketball. He was part of the band and choir, and now he's back here coaching softball, coaching some other sports, and teaching Phi Ed for us. What are some of your memories of Rocori?
Oh, Rocori was always a great, great community. When I did graduate Rocori, I went to St. Cloud State, was lucky enough to get right in because Mary Kelsey went off on maternity leave, and I was able just to stay in even when she came back.
We're here at Cold Spring Elementary with Kara Linz. Kara Linz is a 1996 Rocori grad. She was involved in all kinds of different things in school, from the athletics to the academics, also in music too. I think she had a great experience when she was here. Tell me about that experience, Kara.
Well, I enjoyed Rocori so much that I'm back. And here's the thing, I left high school thinking like I want bigger and better. I want to go to the big city where not everybody knows your name. And I was gone for about a year and a half, and I came back to Cold Spring, and I'll never forget, I was at the gas station in town getting gas, and people were like, "Hey Kara, how's it going?" And I was like, this is what I've missed. So I changed my major, I moved back to the area, finished my degree in education, and luckily got a student teaching job here at Rocori, which turned into a long-term sub, which turned into where I am today.
Awesome. Back in the 1970s and early 1980s, Dave Hankermar was a student here at Rocori, and there was a lot of people that shaped who he is and made him the person who he is today. Who are some of those people, Dave?
Well, I loved my time here at Rocori way back when, but the people that I remember most are probably Coach Brink, Bob Brink, who was the coach here forever, and my baseball coaches as well, Bill Hulls and Jim Teal, and I find myself doing things, saying things that they taught me even way back when, and I just love the fact that when you go somewhere, like a Gopher basketball game, and you have a Rocori shirt on or something, everybody comes up to you and says, "Hey, Rocori basketball, how's Coach Bob Brink doing?" And I just love the fact that we are known all over the state for that type of thing.
We're here with Jeff Ilias. Jeff Ilias is a 1990 Rocori graduate. Jeff, when you were here at Rocori, you played some football, you wrestled during the winter, you played baseball, and now you're back here as our head coach of the baseball team and coaching math at the high school. Mr. Ilias, what makes Rocori a great place?
I just think it's the community aspect of just the homegrown values, and just, you know, I look at being raised here, and my wife and I wanted to raise our kids here. Just the fact that it's kind of small town community, yet you're close enough to the metro areas in Minneapolis, St. Paul. It's a great community to be a part of. I just go back to the community aspect, and we just love being here.
Awesome. Hello, we're with Bob Stein. Bob Stein is a Rocori grad. Back in 1983, he graduated from these hallowed halls at Rocori High School. He was involved in wrestling and some other activities. He tells me he had a great experience here at Rocori, and he hopes to kind of give back. Bob, why do you think Rocori is a great place?
Well, I really think that the biggest thing for Rocori and the biggest asset they have is the community support that we have here. I've been involved in the community for a long time, ever since I was a little kid. And I think that's probably the biggest thing, is that we are such a tight group.
Bob, what I hear is that you've got deep roots in central Minnesota. Why such a strong connection to our community?
Well, I think the reason that my ancestors have stayed in this area is mostly because of the school and community support. It's a close-knit community, and when things go wrong, or there's problems, or we come together and we help each other out. We're a good team. And baseball.
During our high school careers, quite often people come alongside us. They motivate us, okay, maybe to be an athlete, or maybe they inspire us to be a classroom teacher. Who were some of those people, Mr. Ilias?
You know, growing up here, a lot of my high school teachers I really looked up to. They taught me a lot about who I am, the kind of person I wanted to be. That's why I got into the teaching profession, and I look at, some of the mentors that I had is when I was growing up. It would have been guys like Ron Clark, Mark Johnson, Evan Oscarson, and even my father, Roger Ilias, who was a teacher here. He was actually my math teacher in the same classroom. Those guys all instilled the ideal values of what it takes to be a good teacher and coach, and I always look back at them when I have to draw from lessons that I learned at a younger age, and try and instill them into my own athletes and students today.
Awesome, thank you. As an early teacher, sometimes it's really difficult to find your first job, and I'm sure you had butterflies and nerves and anxieties. Yep. You were looking from one district to the other. How did you feel when you finally landed that job here at Rocori?
Well, it was what I always wanted. It felt comfortable and right to be a part of the Rocori district, and it was at a time where it was hard to get a teaching job anywhere. and Rocori was the place to be. So I luckily snagged a long-term sub that turned into more. So that's why I'm here.
We're here with Zach Johnson. Zach Johnson's a 2006 graduate of Rocori. While he was here at Rocori, he played football for us. He also played hockey. He also participated in some other activities too. Zach, you're back teaching at Cold Spring Elementary. What makes Rocori a great place?
I think number one is just the people that live in this community. Not only in the people that work within the district, but people all around the 3 towns and the surrounding areas. Just got good people in this community, and it's pretty easy to understand why so many people come back to the community.
Thank Rocori is a special place. Dave Hinkemeyer grew up in the 1980s in Cold Spring, and he chose to raise his family here in our community too. Why is that, Dave?
Well, the relationships that the people that I got to know back when I was in school, I still do things with them even these days, 30, 40 years later. But I just love the fact that Rocori is a big enough school, but yet it's small enough for people to have positive things happening with them. They don't get lost in the shuffle with too many people being involved. So, I love that one-on-one type thing that my kids were able to get with their coaches and their teachers and their friends that they still are in touch with today.
Brian, you've had a great experience here at Rocori, and a lot of that has to do with our community at Rocori. Tell me about that.
Well, I'd like to say, when I went student teaching, I went to a number of different schools, different experiences, and you dealt with a lot of different families. When I came to Rocori, being I was from Rocori, maybe I was a little biased, but the families really cared about education itself. Along with that, the kids came back to school with respect, and I always told myself I'm going to give the respect to the kids. In return, they've been giving me the respect back, so 32 years plus later, things are going real good.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
Here at Rocori, our teaching staff hopes to motivate our future generations. We have our 2019 kids that will be leaving, walking across the stage, getting their diploma. I wonder how many of them will come back and be in our Rocori classrooms.